welcome back to my garden. Today I'm going to show you kind of my remodel of my herb garden. So this is the herb garden right outside of my patio, and I have here a big lavender plant, and I have here my sage, and then I have another type of sage that I don't really use for cooking, but it's got really nice red flowers that attract hummingbirds, and I like birds, so that's why that's there. And then I have over here some lemon balm in the corner, and finally then over here in the corner I have rosemary for cooking. But you can see that I've kind of neglected it and it's kind of gotten a little bit overgrown. So today I'm going to clean it out and then hopefully put some seeds in for some other things. So enjoy while I clean it out. The red sage, I am going to move from here. This one, I'm going to move from here and put it somewhere else in my garden just because it's reseeding itself. These are the seed pods here, and it's just going kind of crazy all over. Back here it's popping up everywhere. It's over there close to the wall. It's outside of the garden. So I'm just going to remove it and put it somewhere else in the garden where it can go crazy, and then it opens up a lot of space for some other seeds. So let me get to it. So as you can see, I cleaned out all of that one sage that has the red flowers, and I gave everything a nice trim. Okay, it might have seemed like I was cutting way too much off the plant, but I know these will come back because I've done it before. So with my lemon balm, I don't know if you got a glimpse of my cane toad that likes to hide under there. I'd forgotten about him. I'm not going to touch him because they are poisonous. They'll secrete like a poison from those glands right there. So I don't want to touch him. He's fine though. He eats all the bugs, so I'm happy with him. But I just trimmed it up. It will come back. Okay. It's part of the mint family actually, and you can tell because the stems are square. If you feel them, they're not round. It feels like a little square. So I also cut it back because you can see that the leaves are a little bit discolored here. I checked for bugs. I don't see any bugs on it, so I think it's just a nutrient deficiency. So I gave it some, a good trim back, and then I'll put some compost in it. With the lavender, I also gave it a good trimming haircut. And I don't know if you were able to catch it, but underneath it was very brown. See that stuff right there? I think that is, it's down in here too. I think that's just because the airflow can't get in there, and so it mildews because it was a very dense plant. So I gave it a nice trim to try and open it up so that the airflow will get in there, and then I won't have that problem. But it smells wonderful. And then my sage, I just stood up and I also gave it a trim. Again, the leaves are a little splotchy, so I think that's also a nutrient deficiency because I don't see any bugs. But I stood it up and I gave it a trim, and you can see here on one of the stems that I trimmed, you can see it's already starting to come back there. So that'll bush out again for me. And the same thing with the rosemary. I just whacked it quite a lot. It smells great as well. This one might actually have a little bit of a bug on it, so I might have to spray those. But I gave it a nice trim back. That plant is probably about 4 or 5 years old, so it gets nice and big. You have lots of rosemary for cooking. So now, later, I'm going to go through, I told you I was going to replant some of that sage with the red flower. So I've got two big piles here. That one, and then that one over there. I'll go through, pick out some of the healthier plants and replant them somewhere else in my garden, and hope that they take. If not, I'm sure that I will get little babies that pop up here because it was laying the seeds all down. So before I plant some seeds, I brought out my compost bin, and I'm just going to dig it into the dirt and let it decompose in the actual garden. The reason why I'm not putting it on the compost and letting it turn to dirt and then moving it is because it would take longer there, and I don't have any dirt since I used it for the aloe plant. But it works just as great as if you dig a trench, dump the compost in there, and let it just decompose right there. So I'll probably dig maybe 2 trenches in here and put some of the scraps in there. So that's my next step. Okay, so the compost is buried into 2 lines, and I buried them maybe an inch and a half deep. You want to make sure that it's all covered. I think I will put some water on it and let those decompose for like a week, and then next week I'll come back and I'll plant some seeds for everybody to see. So I hope that inspires you to get out there and clean up your garden that you might have started years ago and get it growing again.